What is up, guys? Posting a online ranked battle on Total War Warhammer. I really enjoy this game. It's a lot of fun to play, and I think it's a lot of fun to watch as well. I'll be playing as the Dwarves. They're a staple for me, and they're a really good counter for a lot of the armies that you come up against, and a lot of the different races. My enemy is going to be playing as Norsca, which is one of the the new faction that they've added into the game. They look really cool, got some amazing monsters and really cool units. So I'll quickly run through the army comp. Got my front line, which consists of Longbeards. If you can figure out why they're called Longbeards, good for you. And a centre of 3 Dwarf Warriors, which are basically the standard Dwarven infantry. And another unit of Longbeards on this side. Behind, I have 3 of the Mighty Thunderers, Dwarven Gunners, who are really good at laying absolute butthurt on anything. Especially good on single targets, big stuff like monsters and flying units. Real essential to bring, I think. They're fantastic. Behind them, I have my leader, the absolute redhead master, the Ginge King, Ungrim Iron Fist. And yes, that is his actual hair. You got to wonder how he bothers to fix that up every morning. It's complete ridiculousness. Next to him, I have a Runesmith, who's like a support character with some buffs, debuffs, and 1 damage thing, which is really useful. And behind them, I have 4 units of Slayers. Unbreakable berserker style dwarfs who just love to throw themselves in there. They're experts at fighting monsters, cavalry and large things, and that's why I brought them. And also 1 unit of dwarf cannon. Again, really good against large, really good single target damage. So I expected my enemy to bring a lot of monsters, because Norsca have got some absolute beastie monsters, including giant mammoths, which chomp their way through everything, and a load of other super cool stuff. He didn't actually bring that many monsters, he brought a few, but the army I built still worked really, really well. So we'll go through his army. Front line here of Marauders, which are just basic sort of infantry. Then in the middle we've got these Marauder Champions, who are a little bit more heavily armoured, pretty cool looking some of them. And more Marauders there. Behind that we have Marauder Berserkers, which are presumably just high damage dealing sort of guys that like to go a bit ham. Got some cool animations on them, they're always going a bit mental. Just getting hyped, getting hypey, ready to go in, do some berserking. Next to them we have MC Goathead, or MC Goatface as we like to call him, who's their shaman or their sorcerer or whatever. He's using the Law of Metal. Presumably he chose that because dwarves are really heavily armoured and it's good against armour. I don't think it's good against anything, I never use it. Then next to him we have these pretty interesting abominations. These are female warriors with great weapons. They're wielding jacks from League of Legends style lamppost weapons, which I've got a lot of time for. I've seen a little bit about these guys before playing this battle. Apparently they are pretty strong, chew through anything, love to smash everything up, so I was a bit worried about them. Their leader is Wulfric the Wanderer on a chariot, and he has this hilarious dude on his shield that has an expression that is just like wondering how on earth he ended up being on someone's shield. But it was a good choice to bring the chariot, I think, because if he... one option is to bring him on a mammoth, and obviously my gunners and my slayers would just go to work on a mammoth and kill it really quickly. Behind them we have marauders with great weapons, who are basically just marauders but with armor piercing giant axes, kind of cool. And then here we have marauder hunters, who are skirmishers that throw javelins that are anti-large, hence the name hunters, because they're for hunting big beasts. On his flank here he has these Norscan warhounds that have got pretty grim looking features. Pretty cool unit model, but not very effective against dwarves. They're only really good for chasing down lightly armored routing units, and dwarves are really heavily armored and they don't retreat very often. Same here for these ice wolves. Really cool looking unit, but once again I don't think it's very effective against the dwarves. And then here we have one of my favourite looking units that they've added to Total War Warhammer in a long time. These are the Skin Wolves. Pretty cool looking, basically werewolves, and they're also, this is the armoured variant, and they're also very strong, really good against large, and they can just stay in a fight for a long time. They seem like a really, really, really powerful option to bring. And finally we have a Frostworm, which is pretty cool looking. There's not much more to say about it other than the fact that it's a giant dragon. It'll fly in, smash a lot of people up, and then fly off, I guess. Got cannonballs coming in, licked off his head top. Absolutely sublime. Entrails and brains flying everywhere. You can't beat that. Another cannonball coming in. So we're going to hit it up to full speed here, and I'll do a little bit of commentary, and we'll try and get some good views of the battle whilst it kicks off. So Wulfric's going to go out the front here just to sort of show the boys that he's not afraid. He's got his shield person, who we'll call Steve, who he's probably grown quite attached to, good friends with. Got the wolves moving up the left, the right, sorry. First thing I did in this battle was started my cannons to fire at these Fimir because I was a little bit worried about them. They seemed pretty beastie, and I'd heard that they were quite strong. The Frostworm here is going to get overextended, and the Thunderers are going to give it a little bit of a taste of the old lead, and it's not going to like that and pull back. Meanwhile, these guys just cannot sustain the fire. I don't know why he put them at the front. Probably one of his most valuable units, and they just get absolutely destroyed. Some hot dwarven lead in the face. So they're going to retreat straight away, which is a real waste for him. Bit of a fail. So the main engagement's about to start. Got the Marauders coming in, taking a few bullets here and there. The Great Weapons are going to come in second. These guys will do a bit better than the Marauders because they've got armor piercing, but overall I don't think these guys are going to hold too strong against my Dwarves. One guy did a big jumpy smash because he's a legend. Extra points to him. The Frostworm's going to come in the back, try and get my gunners, do a bit of damage, and that would be able to do that normally. See that? It likes to take big chunks. But what's happening is my Slayers are just coming straight in, and they're not having it. And they'll be sending him packing pretty fast. Guns and Slayers are a great combo against these kind of flying monstrous units. So the Wolves and the Hounds come in, but I mean, once again, these Ginger Psychos are going to make pretty quick work of them, really not a problem for them. The Skin Wolves are doing alright, sort of ploughing their way through. They've got Slayers on them as well, so they're just going to throw themselves at them with their little Ginger Mohawks and their cool axes and probably do a lot of damage to them. They're being supported by the Berserkers. So we'll do a fly down the line just to watch the carnage unfold. My Runesmith's going in the middle there to challenge Goatface, and I'm sure that he'll be able to do well against him because Runesmith's more armoured, more strong. So the front line engagement was pretty clean, pretty good. Meanwhile, Wulfric's doing what he can. Just disrupting, damaging, charging through. My Slayer's chasing him around, trying to get damage on him, but obviously he's a lot more mobile than their little stunty legs. He sends off this cool Sea Fang thing, it's just like a spell. Not massively effective, but pretty cool. I think that's because, you know, Norskins are kind of like Viking Raiders, so you've got to have like a cool ghost ship that you can fire across. The one thing I would say that this opponent did well was use this chariot Wulfric to do a lot of damage in the back lines, and one of the best pieces. This sort of green stuff that's going on, that's like a debuff from this Lord of Metal Goatface guy, just to take away armour and such the like. Meanwhile, just standard procedure really, the Wolves are trying to get their way through, you know. They won't stand for long. The Femir actually came back in. They were sent packing again very quickly. These Slayers here are chasing off his skirmishers and making pretty quick work of them, just like they do a lot of things. This side here is broken and fleed, and now I'm going to basically move them to envelop in a second for micromanagements. Not bad in this battle. So here we go, they're getting themselves ready, and then we're going to get a rear charge into these marauders. The dwarves are literally throwing themselves at the enemy with the big headbutt. Got a lot of time for that. But they don't like that. They don't like being enveloped. Victory is in my grasp. My gunners are just unhindered, able to do work from behind the lines, shoot at whoever I want them to. Goatface has had enough. And there we go. It says Pyrrhic victory, but I see a lot of dwarves standing. So yeah, GG. That was a good battle, really fun to play. I'll probably be putting up more content like this, Total War Warhammer stuff. And even more when the next game comes out, which I'm really looking forward to. So here's the kill count. Wulfric did insanely well for himself, 130 almost, showing that a chariot is a really good option against dwarves. Everyone else not so good. The Marauder Champions and the Berserkers did really well. They're obviously a good option for your line. The Frostworm got 4 kills, which is absolutely pitiful considering how expensive it was, but it was wiped out pretty fast. Same with the Fimir, 7, not great, and that's probably where he lost the battle. So in my army, we've got, pretty standard kills across the line. The Slayers got some pretty good kills. The Thunderers and the Cannons didn't get that much kills, but the thing is, it was actually what they were killing that's more important. So they were taking out big targets, monsters, things like that. And yeah, there you go. GG. Good rank battle and a good win.